Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm filming today, although I do have Anthony in the garden strimming, so hopefully that won't be too much of a noise disturbance. Just want to do a quick video anyway, because I wanted to report back on an insight that I have had into my 4-month experiment so far on the carnivore diet. Because what happened to me was that I had a real upturn at the beginning, which I did a video about, my 30-day update, in which I was full of energy and singing the praises of the diet and the miracle of my physical change as somebody with multiple sclerosis. And then I seemed to plateau, and I didn't really understand why that might be. I have various theories. I put it down to life events and stress, which I do think have been a factor. But the insight that I've had is that I haven't actually been paying any attention to the fasting element of the diet, which is actually really important. I never really paid much attention, because when I was in Morocco, I was accidentally fasting anyway, because we had quite an eventful time in Morocco, and not in a good way. And I was so stressed that I simply didn't eat anything. And when I did, I tried to keep it as carnivore as possible. But my overall calorie intake was much reduced, and I just think it was quite interesting that I did have this crazy upturn in energy. And then when I got back to Spain, I got on with the carnivore diet. I've talked about in some of my previous videos that I've experimented with including avocados, even coconut water, but I have since cut those out, having taken on the advice of people in the comments that maybe that's not something you should do early on when you're trying to establish a baseline. So I cut them out again, and now I'm purely carnivore. I did a video on mushrooms, but I haven't actually eaten any mushrooms. I'm just considering how they might relate to the carnivore diet. So I was puzzled over it really, and I did just think, look, it's down to my mental health not being so great at the moment. However, I have realised that the fasting element of the carnivore diet is actually key to your energy levels. And the reason I discovered this is because I'm currently researching what will probably be my next video, which I want to do a video on complex PTSD and the carnivore diet and chronic illness. And in researching PTSD, I came across how important the mitochondria are in all of this. They're actually key, and I will go into this when I do my video on PTSD. But just by accident, I stumbled across a piece of information online that calorie restriction is actually, it boosts mitochondrial biogenesis, which is the transformation of oxygen and food in your body to energy. It's a transformative process. That's the role of the mitochondria, and the mitochondria are in every single cell in our body except our red blood cells. I'm really deep diving this, and I'm going to do a coherent, hopefully scientific overview of this. But I actually think that the reason that I had a plateau in energy is that I stopped the fasting element. And now I've looked into it and I realise that I'm supposed to be, or at least a common practice on the carnivore diet, is to reduce your food intake to a window of 8 hours a day and fast for the rest of it, for the remaining 16 hours, half of which are asleep for. I hadn't paid any attention to that at all. And this morning for the first time, or last night for the first time, I had a deadline. 7 p.m. was my final meal. And then I haven't eaten again till 11 a.m. this morning. It was no hardship, and already I feel much better for it, because I woke up, I had a cup of tea. I don't know if that's breaking the fast. I'm hoping that liquids are still okay. I had a cup of tea, I played Wordle, and instead of lying there until I felt ready to get up for breakfast, as I usually do, I thought, well, I can't have breakfast till 11 a.m. What am I going to do in the meantime? And I got up and I mowed the lawn, and I cleaned the house, and I made the bed and did the washing up. I just did a whole load of things because I was waiting for breakfast time. And that in itself has already changed my emotions and energy for the day, because I have a sense of achievement. I then have my breakfast at 11. feel great. I can now eat as much as I want until 7 p.m, at which point I will stop eating. I will stop my food intake and I will allow my body to process what it has. And that should mean that my mitochondria function better. And mitochondria are the powerhouse of the body. They produce energy. So I just wanted to quickly fill you guys in on this, that I am just a newbie carnivore. I have been experimenting with the limits of the diet, but I've also been reintroducing limits as I realised that I wasn't giving myself the best chance. And now I realise that there was an element I've not been paying attention to, which is absolutely key, which is the fasting element. I just wanted to give you guys that update, and I'm really optimistic that this could be the difference in plateauing to having another upturn, as well as introducing a sense of routine. But yeah, I'm going to do a more in-depth video. This is just a quick update, really. I'm going to do a more in-depth video into this because I think the other thing that's been holding me back is PTSD, complex PTSD, which I know everybody diagnoses themselves with these days. But chronic illness often goes hand in hand with CPTSD. So I'm super excited about this key element, which I was overlooking. And I'm really hoping it's going to make a big difference. But as I say, next week I will be reporting back on my research into complex PTSD and trauma, which mitochondria play an extremely important role in as well. There's the strimmer. So yeah, feeling optimistic, feeling focused, back on track, and looking forward to reporting back next week. See you then. Bye.